In heaven, all the interesting people are missing. All truly great thoughts are conceived while walking. It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. When we are tired, we are attacked by ideas we conquered long ago. The advantage of a bad memory is that one enjoys several times the same good things for the first time. Without music, life would be a mistake. Thoughts are the shadows of our feelings, always darker, emptier, and simpler. One ought to hold on to one's heart, for if one lets it go, one soon loses control of the head too. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die. As well the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions, they cease to be mind. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. No one can construct for you the bridge upon which precisely you must cross the stream of life. No one but you yourself alone. I'm not upset that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on I can't believe you. A thinker sees his own actions as experiments and questions, as attempts to find out something. Success and failure are for him answers above all. It is hard enough to remember my opinions, without also remembering my reasons for them. There is always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. Is man merely a mistake of God's, or God merely a mistake of man? There are no beautiful surfaces without a terrible depth. I cannot believe in a God who wants to be praised all the time. Man is the cruelest animal. I am a forest, and a night of dark trees, but he who is not afraid of my darkness will find banks full of roses under my cypresses. I would believe only in a God that knows how to dance. A casual stroll through the lunatic asylum shows that faith does not prove anything. You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes? Faith, not wanting to know what the truth is. We have art in order not to die of the truth. A good writer possesses not only his own spirit, but also the spirit of his friends. In truth, there was only one Christian, and he died on the cross. All things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. The lonely one offers his hand too quickly to whomever he encounters. Ah, women! They make the highs higher and the lows more frequent. Amor fati, love your fate, which is in fact your life. Blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders. Invisible threads are the strongest ties. Art is the proper task of life. What does your conscience say? You should become the person you are. There is not enough love and goodness in the world to permit giving any of it away to imaginary beings. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs. He alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter. They muddy the water to make it seem deep. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. One repays a teacher badly if one always remains nothing but a pupil. Stupidity in a woman is unfeminine. After coming into contact with a religious man, I always feel I must wash my hands. Become who you are. Hope, in reality, is the worst of all evils because it prolongs the torments of man. The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. The most perfidious way of harming a cause consists of defending it deliberately with faulty arguments. And once you are awake, you shall remain awake eternally. Is life not 1,000 times too short for us to bore ourselves? Everything the state says is a lie, and everything it has stolen. Madness is something rare in individuals, but in groups, parties, peoples, and ages, it is the rule. Talking much about oneself can also be a means to conceal oneself. One must be a sea to receive a polluted stream without becoming impure. Distrust all in whom the impulse to punish is powerful. One must give value to their existence by behaving as if one's very existence were a work of art. If you know the why, you can live anyhow. It is my ambition to say in 10 sentences what others say in a whole book. My solitude doesn't depend on the presence or absence of people. On the contrary, I hate who steals my solitude without, in exchange, offering me true company. Whenever I climb, I am followed by a dog called ego. Remorse. Never yield to remorse, but at once tell yourself, remorse would simply mean adding to the first act of stupidity a second. For art to exist, for any sort of aesthetic activity or perception to exist, a certain physiological precondition is indispensable: intoxication. There are no eternal facts, as there are no absolute truths. The worst readers are those who behave like plundering troops. They take away a few things they can use, dirty and confound the remainder, and revile the whole. What is the seal of liberation? Not to be ashamed in front of oneself. He who climbs upon the highest mountains laughs at all tragedies, real or imaginary. One must pay dearly for immortality. One has to die several times while still alive. The irrationality of a thing is no argument against its existence, rather a condition of it. Two great European narcotics, alcohol and Christianity. Be careful when you cast out your demons that you don't throw away the best of yourself. All great things must first wear terrifying and monstrous masks in order to inscribe themselves on the hearts of humanity. The author must keep his mouth shut when his work starts to speak. Love is blind. Friendship closes its eyes. I am one thing, my writings are another. One loves ultimately one's desires, not the thing desired. Only sick music makes money today. I obviously do everything to be hard to understand myself. The earth has a skin, and that skin has diseases. One of its diseases is called man. The spiritualization of sensuality is called love. It is a great triumph over Christianity. What is the truth but a lie agreed upon? They call you heartless, but you have a heart, and I love you for being ashamed to show it. In Christianity, neither morality nor religion come into contact with reality at any point. A subject for a great poet would be God's boredom after the seventh day of creation. Without forgetting it is quite impossible to live at all. Arrogance on the part of the meritorious is even more offensive to us than the arrogance of those without merit, for merit itself is offensive. Whoever thought that he had understood something of me had merely construed something out of me, after his own image. He who cannot put his thoughts on ice should not enter into the heat of dispute. Friedrich Nietzsche was a German philosopher, cultural critic, and poet who lived from 1844 to 1900. He is known for his critical and influential works on morality, religion, nihilism, and human nature. Nietzsche's ideas challenged traditional views of the world and had a profound impact on modern thought and culture. He advocated for the rejection of conventional morality in favor of the pursuit of individual freedom and self-realization. Nietzsche's writings have inspired generations of scholars, thinkers, and artists, and continue to influence modern discourse on philosophy, psychology, and cultural studies. Despite his immense contributions to intellectual thought, Nietzsche suffered from mental and physical health problems and died at the age of 55.